Look, let's move on because Elon Musk has declared war on activist advertisers who pull money away from conservative platforms on news sites. The New York Post reports the left-leaning advertising cabal accused of conspiring to suppress conservative outlets was reportedly disbanded on Thursday, just days after Elon Musk's ex slapped the group with a federal antitrust lawsuit. Let's bring the panel back in. Now, Louise, to have this massive body which is responsible for directing advertising funds, for them to be accused of antitrust violations and then to just delete it, that's not a great look.
Well, it's not, but also the irony of someone like Elon Musk and the platform he runs and what he allows to be distributed on that platform, it beggars belief that he would go after a standards authority given what standards he applies to his own, own commercial network in a way. So I just think is a typical sort of megalomaniac billionaire owner of a platform like that who doesn't like what he hears, so he launches legal action, and to what end?
Yeah, he definitely does not like being criticised. I'm definitely a little bit more sympathetic with him because we do get targeted by some of these groups. And look, sometimes we do make mistakes and sometimes the criticism against us is fair. But sometimes there are people that have very nefarious agendas that group together. And that was the problem with GARM. And now there is an attempt for them to escape accountability for these perceived violations of antitrust, whether or not they did. We won't really know because they've broken up the organisation.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best case scenario out of this is that even if the case eventually comes to naught, it's resulted in the breaking up of the organisation. Because, I don't have a particular problem with commercial operators banding together to spend their advertising money with one mob or another, because that's just the free market, right? And if someone decides that their company's values don't align with a media outlet's values or a social media company's values, then they shouldn't be forced to advertise with them. What needs to happen on the other side, and I've often said this about the right, and it's often the right that gets targeted by the left in terms of these boycotts, is the right has to do the same back to the boycotters, because the left is very good at boycotting. It's been a tactic they've used for a long time, but the right doesn't tend to do it back. And so I would say to viewers of this network or users of X or whatever, if an advertiser decides to boycott a network or a media outlet or a social media platform that you like to use, boycott the advertiser back because they can spend their money where they want, but you can also spend your money where you want.
Bud Light found that out.
Exactly.
The hard way,
we as consumers, I think, have to use a bit more of our own power to fight back against this stuff.